Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. So with that in mind, let's jump right in to this week's episode of Becoming Something.
What's up, podcast world? It's your boy JP in the podcast studio with the best Christian hip hop artist known to man. Nate Hilgenkamp.
Yo, I'm here. Yeah, you also said that the
Why do you sound like Kermit the Frog? Yo. What are you doing right now?
I'm doing a rapper impersonation. Turn your phone off.
Sorry, that's my prayer alarm. That's my prayer alarm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, anyways, Ruslan, the
off.
great Ruslan is here.
The great?
Look, just three dudes repping their brands. The Net, Becoming Something. Bless God. Let's go. What's up, my guy?
What's up, man?
How you been?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me out here. This is
Of course, dude.
an amazing trip.
Hey, you
for
called him
coming
the
to
king of culture, and I felt offended by that. I was like, I feel
Why?
like I'm more in than Ruslan is. Like trendier.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I
for
know the
sure.
words.
Like Gap, like Men's Gap. 'Cause you were like super more in.
Old Navy.
Yeah, Old Navy, you're slaying that.
Come
you got
on.
that. You got that down. What's the fish brand? Did we ever figure out what the fish brand
I think
was?
it was Southern Tide.
You're a big Southern Tide
I
guy.
have no idea what you guys are talking about right now.
Nate's a big. This podcast actually brought to you by Southern Tide.
There we go.
Get a shirt's not a shirt unless it has a fish on it. You heard it here first, guys. What's up?
What's up, man? Is that one of those shows you get at, what is that big fishing store, Sea Bass or something? Is that what that-
Sea bass.
What is this store? I don't even know what it's
Bass
called.
Pro?
Bass Pro. Yeah.
Sea bass.
My son saw one. We were driving, and he was like, "Dad, it's Bass Pro." And I'm
Dude,
like,
you gotta stop in there,
how do
man.
you-
There's like an aquarium and
he
everything.
really wanted to go in. He was trying, and I'm like, "How do you even know about this?" And he's like, "Dude, perfect."
Yeah.
No way.
Dude, you gotta tell them where you were yesterday. But I was like raised in a small town. Love the city. Like city was like like you go to the city, it's like vacation, like a mall, like fountains. Like I was just always in awe of anything like that. And one time I was preaching at the porch, and I was like, I mean, you guys like, hey, go on a good date. And I was like giving them date night ideas, and I go go to Bass Pro, and everybody started
awesome.
laughing, and I didn't know why. I was like, why are they laughing right now? I'm like, it's amazing. There's a fish aquarium in there.
That's awesome.
It's huge.
Oh man,
Man.
Oh man.
Do you miss San Diego yet? I'm like,
Yeah.
you've been here for 2 days. You gotta be
Yeah.
like,
He
get
was
me out of
talking
here.
about how much better the weather is here.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I love San Diego, man. You're so I'm so spoiled, dude.
Totally.
I feel like a weather snob.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I feel bad. Yeah.
Man.
You said there's only like 5 places in the world with that weather.
With the weather, yeah.
I'm sick today, guys, by the way. That's why I'm like sipping hot coffee, and yeah, it's not, your boy's struggling. So
What are the other places?
Australia, I think, has a similar climate.
Okay.
Israel.
Oh,
oddly enough,
really?
yeah, Tel Aviv has a similar climate.
Wow.
And I want to say I'm 95% there. The only other place in the United States that has a similar climate is actually a place in Texas.
guess what it is?
I mean, I have no idea.
It's on the west
west.
coast of Texas,
What?
Not West Side, yeah.
the west side.
Odessa?
There's no coast there.
Yeah, there's no.
I know, that's what I wanted.
There's no ocean.
Lubbock? Surely no.
El Paso.
El Paso.
That's the word.
It's dry heat. There's no humidity.
Really?
There's less humidity in El Paso.
I
Yeah.
would have thought it was a
Wow.
lot hotter than
I've
San Diego.
always said I want to live in El Paso or San Diego.
I know.
Like, those are the two
So
places.
everybody, dude. Everybody's like that. El Paso or San Diego.
Man.
Bro, tell me about when's the book come out?
September 9th.
September
Yeah,
9th.
I'm not sure when we're releasing this, but yeah, September 9th. Super pumped. I should pre-order it.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so 1 Thessalonians 4:11.
That's right.
I've got strive to live a quiet life and work with your hands.
Yeah.
But it says the word ambition. There's different versions
Yep.
of it. Which one do you have?
Yeah, the NIV says ambition, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life working with your own hands. minding your own business, so that your daily life will win the respect of outsiders. You won't be dependent on anybody.
Yeah.
And that word strive or ambition is only used 3 times in the New Testament.
Yeah.
There's another word for ambition, which is more of a selfish ambition. I think that word's used 4 times.
Yeah.
And so when Paul's talking about that ambition, he uses it once in, I want to say Corinthians, where he says, I make it my ambition to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
Make it my ambition to please God. And then that 1 Thessalonians verse, which is work with your own hands. And he's writing a church in Thessalonica. They're experiencing persecution. They're going through it. And so some of them are kind of punting their life. They're not working. He has to tell them in the 2nd Thessalonians, like, hey, he who does not work, I'll not eat.
Yeah.
Like, this is where this is coming from. And it's because they're paralyzed from all this fear that's happening. And hey, you got to have some godly ambition. You got to work with your own hands. You got to lead a quiet life. You got to mind your own business so you won't be dependent on other people. You know? Yeah.
So how do you, like it says, live a quiet life? And I'm like, your life is not, everyone sees your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you hold those 2 things in tension?
Yeah, it's a great question. When I think of quiet life, I think of not gaining as much attention as you could have. I think of like not going for every look to get to shine a light on you.
Yep.
And so practically, I mean, I'm barely on social media. I have a team that runs my Instagram.
Oh, wow.
My family is not on anything. My family's not public. We keep my family very private.
Yeah.
And then I would say my pace of life is fairly quiet. So
yeah,
That's where I would have thought you would have went, because I'm Team Nate here.
yes,
It's the
for
first
the
time.
first
It's the
time
first time this has ever
in
happened.
history.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, Ruslan, like you're out there. I mean, whether you do your Instagram or somebody else does, but if you went, I would have thought you would say, hey, I think this is talking about pace, and I've not. It's been a minute since I've really dove into that text. By the way, a lot of people, when you do a podcast, you know this. It's like everybody's like, hey, I got a book release. I want to talk about it. This is one I wanted to talk about because I was like, hey, this is good. And we met.
Well, thank you for doing the forward.
We met on the West Coast, and I was like, you know, I had a chance to read this earlier. I'm like, man, this is going to help people, because I think we really wrestle with this idea of, you know, do I take the proverbial, do I take the bull by the horns or let go and let God? You know, is this, hey, how do I strive? And Paul says in Colossians, I strenuously contend with all Christ's power at work in me. And so it's this, like, I contend, Christ's power. We looked at a verse yesterday in 1 Corinthians that's this same idea. It's, you know, I worked hard by the grace of God. And so it's like, I think that's the tension that most people feel. And you've got to feel that because you're out there. But I would say, bro, you're like you are the mastermind when I think about people, the culture king. I've said that about you behind your back. Like, you're studying what's happening, what people are talking about. You're grabbing, you're like the master of the headlines. I don't want to say clickbait because that's like a negative connotation, but you're really wise and, okay, this is how I'm going to summarize what this is. You're putting the graphics out. I mean, that how do you balance that?
Well, I come from the music side of things. And so the music side of things, I was having this conversation yesterday, like, in hip hop, you got to think about it. Like, hip hop is the only genre where we rap about the genre.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of rapping about rapping.
Right.
So you want to talk about the extreme on the other side of, like, I'm going to rap to you about how good of a rapper I am and rapping. Yeah. Like, that is so meta if you think about it, right? There's no real, like, country is not singing about being a country singer. They're singing about stuff within country culture, right? Yeah. And so there's an opposite extreme in the world that I come from, where it was all about ambition. Ambition was God, right? And the opposite of trying to lead a quiet life, right? And then when I came to faith, I yo-yoed to the other extreme. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Like, I stopped caring about my haircut, didn't cut my hair, didn't care about what I wore, stopped buying clothes.
Dude, that's where Nate is.
Yeah.
This is what he's on the same journey.
Yeah. This is gonna be helpful.
Yeah. And so I yo-yoed the other extreme. And so I think as I got older, as I started a family, as I got married, landing in this I would say healthy place of you gotta care about some of this stuff, right? At the same time, you can't let that be your North Star. And so everything else, that stuff you're talking about, they're just extensions of it. If I'm going to be on YouTube, I have to consider what people care about, which oddly enough, Philippians talks about, like, consider the needs of others before your own. So what communicator is like, I'm just going to talk about what I want to, if you're, this whole retreat we've been doing, we're talking about the needs in the room, so what's the needs online? What are the fears people have? What are the anxieties people have? And if I'm engaging on social media, I have to let that play into the factor. And same thing with YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you get ambition? Because there's so many young adults that I know that are honestly like floating through life, and it's like I would love to give them ambition, but how do you get it?
Sometimes I think it's two things. One, I think it's about having a vision for your life.
Yeah.
That can usher in godly ambition. So this is the exercise I tend to do with people. Is I go, and maybe you guys have heard this before, but I'm a big sci-fi guy, right? And so, like, my favorite genre of music is sci-fi, but specifically time travel, right?
Wait, music?
Movies.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Nice.
I was like
nice
time travel music.
That would be fire, though.
This is crazy.
It's like I knew you were cutting edge. Man.
Yeah.
I knew you were ahead of the game.
I might be onto something.
I knew you were ahead of the game.
I might be onto something. So I love time travel movies.
Yeah.
And I talk about, hey, like, if the version of you from 10 years in the future were to come back and talk to the version of you today, what do you think they would say? Yeah. And so we kind of play that thought experiment out. And then I go, hey, like, by the way, like, I'm the version of you from 20 years in the future. Like, I'm the version of you that struggled with porn longer than I had to, that struggled financially longer than I had to, that dealt with certain things, and, like, let me be big brother and tell you, like, right now you're in a season where you have optimal time and no external motivation. But you're going to enter a season where you have optimal motivation, family, kids, responsibilities, and you're not going to have as much time.
Right.
But nobody believes that.
Yeah.
Like so that's the whole heart of this podcast.
Yeah.
Is like everybody's becoming something. Every moment is training for a future moment. And so, like, what you're doing right now, it determines who you will be.
Yeah.
And
there's a future version of you.
Yeah.
That would love to chat with you right now and just saying, hey, man, this ain't it. Like 8 hours a day, video games, that's not it. Hey, this porn, you think it's this little tiger cub that is cute. It's gonna grow up and devour you and eat you for lunch.
Yeah. So I think one is trying to cast vision and trying to say, hey, think about it in this way. And one of we didn't do a ton of things right, but one of the things we did really consider is, like, we got married. And then we thought about what life would look like when we had our first son, Levi.
Yeah.
So we got out of debt. We saved 6 months of living expenses. We knew our value was my wife is going to come home and stay home and raise our kids. We didn't want her working outside the home. So there were certain values that we had. And that was one of the things that we actually did well, was like, hey, we're thinking about future kids before we even have kids.
Yeah.
So that's one way. The other, and to add that, you get the vision for it. And then I said the second thing is, you create the systems for it. And so what incremental steps can you take today while you're in your early 20s, mid-20s, that will have impact for the next season?
Yeah.
And so it's less about, like, hey, you need to get fired up and have ambition. It's more about, hey, you need to create some systems.
It's micro choices.
Yeah, micro choices.
That's what I would say is, like, I mean, listen, like, people say life is really hard. I'm like, man, it can be circumstantially very difficult for some people, but for the vast majority of people, it's tiny choices that make life difficult, or you set your future self up for success. We were talking yesterday. There's a young guy here, and you're like, man, get a Roth. Like, I mean, just like those kinds of things. Like, just understand, like, what you do today, whether you save or whether you spend, how you look for a job, the job that you have, what you're training for. If you jump, this is a big thing. If, like, the silent quitting and whatnot, if you jump from job to job to job to job, guess what? You never became an expert at anything. And I talk to my son about this. I'm like, to become an expert at something, you've got to put in the 10,000 hours. Like, you've got to grind past the moment of discomfort. And so trying to train up a generation to understand that, like, listen, there's an aspect of it. I'm not trying to preach to you like I'm your grandfather. I'm just saying it's your future self that I think is going to look back and say, man, I wish you would have listened, to this.
Well, here's the beautiful part is that I talk about this in the book. Incremental investments lead to monumental advancements.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that we really want to do.
Say it again slowly.
Incremental investments lead to monumental advancements.
Advancements.
Yeah. So think about this. So I'll just take something like fitness, for example, right? Most people struggle with it. You can
Not us.
There we go.
You can cook all your meals for the week for about an hour of meal prep. Invest 1 hour.
No.
Yes. I'm gonna give you the whole playbook. Go to your local grocery store, get a couple bags of sweet potatoes, get some chicken, put all your sweet potatoes in the oven for 45 minutes, poke holes, chop them up if you want to.
Yeah.
Throw them in there, grill a bunch of chicken on a George Foreman grill. I mean, you saw, what did I have?
Yes,
I pulled up a
grilled
chicken, right?
Totally.
And I get all my meal prep done in 1 hour, and that meal prep, eating chicken and sweet potatoes. I'm not saying I don't eat anything else. I eat normal, but
I'm listening to you, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm eating the same thing 6 nights a week.
So,
it's like, what's for dinner?
So you can mix
chicken
it up.
and sweet potatoes.
So you can mix it up. You can have some ground turkey. You can have some ground beef. You can have some steak. You can mix it up. I'm just giving you the bare bones, right? Where does someone start?
I didn't know this is where we were going.
Yeah.
This is not where I thought this was going.
So 1 hour, 30 to 45 minutes a day, 3 times a week of strength training. So now we're at an hour and a half, 2.5 hours. 2.5 to 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
You do that for 6 months. Strength train properly with proper form. Don't ego lift, move, and eat. Let's just start with the right amount of protein every day. Your ideal body weight in grams of protein every day.
Yeah.
You will look like another human in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. People don't know that. And so if you've never walked through the process of doing that, you're like, that sounds preposterous. Like, that sounds crazy. 3 hours a week, 3 hours a week, and you can look like another human. Now, we could apply this to finances. Me and my wife were $100,000 in debt 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So count that for 2011 money, right? Before $100,000 in debt. This is before I had a YouTube channel. This is before I was making any real money as a rapper. I was making a little bit of money. And just listening to Dave Ramsey's podcast, doing the baby steps, we were debt-free in 18 months.
Dude.
You know? Working Joe jobs.
No way.
Right? We don't understand the types of things we can do when we sacrifice a little bit. So going back to what you were talking about with your son, the way I tell Levi, my 10-year-old, and I drill this into him, if you do what is easy, life will be hard.
Yeah.
If you do what is hard, life will be easy.
Yeah. It's going to be hard one way or another. There's like a meme out there. It's like, hey, there's going to be difficulty either on the front end or the back end. Choose where you want to put it. And if you put it on the front end, it's usually smaller, and you get to experience some ease later. And not that I want to redeem this from a biblical worldview. Not that life is about as making it as easy as you can, because we have the Beatitudes. You know, Jesus says, hey, consider yourself blessed when others persecute you. But there is this aspect that we are called to take care of our body, that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who's in us, whom we've received from God. There is this aspect that we are called to renew our mind. That's what the thing right now is. We got to take care of our minds, because it's like, man, what we're eating and what we're doing with our free time, it's messing up what's between our ears. There is this aspect that we are to live on mission here as warriors, as soldiers. And so what does it look like for us to be, God-fearing soldiers on mission here on earth? Because life is short, man. I mean, it's like, before you know it, you're going to be face-to-face with Jesus. And I don't know what regret in heaven looks like, but I don't know if it's there, or what that, if that's just at the Bema seat, or what that experience is. But man, I want my life to be poured out like a drink offering. Like, I want to live a life that matters. That's why I woke up at 4 this morning just thinking about this. Like, man, what is it like? What right now? I'm going on sabbatical, which even that is just really angsty for me, trying to figure out, okay, what does it look like to rest in a God-fearing way, and not just vacation and not drift from the Lord. But so the book is Godly Ambition. It's available. It's September 9th. You guys know, you track with us. We're like not just putting books in front of you all the time. We're actually really selective. There's a lot of no's to every yes of the book that we talk about on the show. and this is one I want you guys to pick up. Was it your boy Josh did the art? Is it Josh Nadir?
Josh Nadir did a version of the art.
Yeah.
He does a lot of our stuff. So we have a version of the artwork we're going to repurpose for something. But he killed it on that version. The publisher went with a more safe version, a little more wide appealing version. Yeah.
It's dope. I mean, the book is beautiful. It's like it's a book that looks good on the coffee table, but even better when you crack open the pages. And
I did the foreword. We slapped your name on it.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's a light read too. It's a pretty
it's
smooth
easy
read.
page turner for sure.
Yeah, I think people will appreciate it. And if they pre-order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, they can go to mygodlyambition.com, upload their screenshot, and we're giving them the first 3 chapters and some other bonus content, so they can kind of get through some of it early on before it officially comes out.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. I don't know how closely you track with the BSO. But it's kind of like Sway in the morning. Like we usually do a rap battle.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a freestyle.
I'm down to freestyle.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay. You good?
Like who's doing the rap
You
battle?
want to go first or you want to go second?
Oh, I was hoping it was you two. I'll
He
go
got
first.
the beatbox. Okay, Nate, you go.
Hey, this morning I picked up Ruslan in my car. We went really far.
That's right.
And when we went to the church, we had a lot of merch on our shirts. We're wearing merch. And we went to the church.
That was great.
Yeah. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's gonna be tough to beat.
I feel like no one's rhymed merch with church.
Dude, that was good. I was actually got choked up because I was like, oh, we shouldn't have went church. You shouldn't have went church. And then you pulled it out with the merch. So it's like, all right, man. You're gonna You want
That's whatever you were doing was fine. I'm shocked you could beatbox. I used to play high school with knee socks. Basketball, then I got cut. That's when my life, it got rough. Then my man, keep it moving and the hot in hand. Yeah, JP, and I'm steady folding. Then I got older and started adulting.
There we go. Amazing.
I didn't know you could beatbox, bro. It's a hidden talent.
How did you make that transition from music to what you're doing now?
I was already uploading on YouTube since 2015. Kind of knew there was something there. I had a couple friends that kind of taken off. So it's actually the 10-year anniversary. I released a vlog called My Day as a Full-Time Rapper. People can go look it up.
Is that on your current page?
Yeah. I re-uploaded it because I put it on a different page and I put it on my page. So it's still up. So it's a little out of order. But the first episode is up right now. And so we just did a 10-year anniversary. So I started like Casey Neistat vlogging, then podcasting, then like my audience predominantly was like fellow Christian rappers, aspiring Christian rappers. So like all the early content was all marketing and business advice. And then 2019, I did a podcast clip a day for a whole year. So I would be at shows, green room, set up a little setup like this, interview my buddies. All of 2019, a clip came out. And I got to like 15,000 subscribers. 2020, couldn't do no more shows, couldn't do no more in-person podcast. And everything shuts down. And I have this idea of going live, reacting to videos, doing virtual interviews, and that the unlock was multiple uploads in a day because people were at home.
Wow.
And so I just flooded the algorithm with multiple uploads, multiple podcast clips, because I was like, man, I'm already doing a clip a day. Is this going to be too much? Am I going to oversaturate? And everybody was like, yes, bad idea. Yeah. And I didn't listen to anybody. Yeah. And so like if you were to do a virtual interview with me back then, we would talk, we'd hit some different interesting topics. Yeah. I'd clip that up right away. And that would drop that same day, multiple clips, tying into cultural events. And the channel went from 15,000 at the beginning of 2019 to like 60,000. Yeah. Sorry, the beginning of 2020 to like 60,000 at the end of the year.
So where you was at with rap right now? Like, I mean, I listened to something yesterday in the car. I was like, dude, that's fire. Yeah. Is that drop or?
Yeah, that's coming out. It's a song called Miracles. Miracles We All Believe. I'm not sure which one we'll call it. Yeah, rap is one of those things, man, where I have repeatedly tried to shake it and put it down. I've multiple times as a rapper, I've tried to become the behind the scenes guy. Like, hey, I don't want to be the face of anything. I'll get behind this guy and be the producer DJ. I'll get behind this guy and be the music producer executive multiple times. And it just somehow always comes back around. And so I'm in a season right now, same thing. Like, Lord, I'm so good just doing YouTube and speaking and writing. and for whatever reason, like I can't shake it. You know, I think it's the Lord, but I'm not sure. So at the very least, I'm releasing stuff. I think I released like 8 songs last year. So I'm always releasing stuff. I think I need to reorient my expectations because all of my friends who do music are like Nick D and Jake and like all these guys, Paul Russell, John Keith, they're like amazing. So I got to reorient my expectations. So like, hey, you're not gonna get 100,000 plays in a day, like, and that's okay. So I think I see music right now.
If you have beatbox on there, I mean, you might.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially if we like spliced ours up and like made it.
Yeah, no, I feel like we could take that cut. That church merch thing might.
So the goal is to release it.
Yeah.
Just be open-handed with it. Promote it.
Yeah.
We built a separate studio just for like a studio for shooting music videos in my house on a different corner of my house. And so just be open-handed with it. And if the Lord breathes on it, we're going to do our part. We're going to do the inputs. We're going to do the inputs. And, we'll see.
Yeah.
It's Ruslan KD. The book is Godly Ambition. You're going to want to pick this up, pre-order it right now. There's some pre-order bonuses. You can go to mygodlyambition.com and pick those up. You were going to say something?
Well, yeah. So, okay, one of my issues with Christian influencers like you would be you're not actually connected to like a local church. Like you can just upload videos and like go surf.
Yeah, you just like watch from the house and stuff. Stream.
If you do that.
Bedside Baptist, Pastor Pillow.
Because you can't like.
So like,
who's your covering, Pastor Pillow?
Yeah, exactly.
So is that true? Like, is that your life? You just upload a video, claim you're a Christian, and like get views, get paid. This is easy.
Yeah, no. I love the local church, man. Like the previous church I was at, I was there for over 20 years. Wow. I've been at my Rhythm Church in
shout out Rhythm.
Yeah, Oceanside for a little over 2 years. I've known my pastor for 15 years.
Wow.
And I am like big on the local church. Like I think the local church is
like you serve there.
Yeah, I'm involved.
I mean, like
Well, I actually do. I actually do the FPU group. So it's like me and like 4 or 5 other people when we're on season.
Financial Peace University.
Amazing.
Yeah. So it's man, Rhythm Church is so dope, and it's great being under healthy leadership and pointing people to the
what
church.
I would give to be under healthy leadership.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like,
the sarcasm is next level, bro.
Where
what I would give.
Ruslan, where were you born?
Azerbaijan, Baku, in the Middle East. So just north of
You were
Iran.
saying a real thing?
So you're what is your ethnicity?
I'm Armenian. So my
you
mother's
don't-
adopted by
So
an
you don't
Armenian.
believe in the sovereignty of God?
Oh my God.
Not that Armenian.
Oh, okay.
Armenian. I'm Armenian.
I took a really long path to that joke.
That would've been fun.
But
Wait, so
Sorry.
was that a country?
My bad.
Was that a city or country? What did you say?
So Iran, north of Iran is Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
West of Iran is west of Azerbaijan is Armenia, and then there's Turkey. So Armenia is splat in the middle of
And
Turkey.
Armenia is a country?
Azerbaijan. Armenia is a country.
Obviously.
Yes. And I'm Armenian, but I'm Armenian who grew up in Azerbaijan. So there's already like an identity thing of like you're not Armenians be like, you're not really Armenian, and it's like I'm Armenian, but I grew up in Azerbaijan.
Is Armageddon the battle?
Azerbaijan is
Battle of Armageddon?
no,
That's gonna end the world?
that's
Oh my
funny.
Goodness, dude.
Long story short,
We didn't
massive,
get canceled yet. Now we're in a good spot.
massive rising up of ethnic cleansing and getting all the Armenians out
Man.
Oh, wow.
in the late 80s.
Wow.
And so me and my family came to the United States
After the revolution.
as the
in
refugees 3 months before the fall of communism.
Wow.
So before the Soviet Union fell.
Crazy.
And this all was under the
Dude,
Soviet
have
Union.
you ever been to Iran? Iran?
No. No.
That's awesome. Well,
go
bro,
right
thanks for jumping on the show and having the conversation. I love what you're doing. Check out Ruslan KD on YouTube. I mean, the dude mastermind, like just straight mastermind. Godly Ambition is going to bless you. Like if you have ever wrestled with, hey, what's my role? What's God's role? What does it look like? Like what is what is life all about? I mean, it's a book on purpose. Honestly, and it's a
Which
page
young
turner.
adults need to read.
Yeah, and so this is going to be one. I always say buy 5 copies, but buy 1 copy, and then you're going to buy 5 copies because after you read it, you're going to be like, all right, this is
Read it
the
with your
one
life group,
that I
yeah.
want to give away and whatnot.
I mean, you came back from time with him on this podcast.
Like mind
And,
blown.
Like,
It's like, oh, this
I
is
feel like I heard you talk about it multiple times.
I was like,
dude,
well, I like
they're excellent.
Like the Lord inspires me when I see somebody. When you're far from someone and you're just watching the headlines and the social media reels, you're like, oh, okay, you kind of have an opinion. You get close and see dude engage people in the community and serving in his church, and you meet his pastor, and then you just watch him chop it up in the studio, and you're like, oh man, this dude's a real deal. So thanks for coming down, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Bless you. Bye.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for tuning in to Becoming Something, where we promise to keep the conversation honest and real for young adults in their 20s and 30s. Every moment we live is training for a future moment, and that's why we do this podcast, because we want you to be prepared for everything that life is going to throw at you. Our hope with this podcast is that it would help you become all that God desires you to be. To find out more, visit becomingsomething.com.